Why did Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom break up after 9 years? Well, new reports are alleging it's because Orlando kept warning her about her cringeworthy space flights and desperate attempts at promoting her new album, including invading Orlando's privacy. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and look, I don't really care. I wish them both well. It sucks when couples break up, especially after so much time, but it happens, and we move on. But a lot of people speculating as to why. And I really could care less about who showed up to the wedding. She was on tour. It's why she didn't show up to the wedding. Lauren Sanchez has actually commented and said, "We miss you." And apparently Katy's close to them, but Orlando took it as an opportunity to, single it up. And we'll talk about that in a second. But I just don't care about these two at all. I mean, I do. No one should have as much wealth as these two people have. And the amount of waste on this wedding when there's so much going on in the world, I find it all despicable. All these people just showing up to kiss the Bezos ring so they can get their projects funded. That's why they're there. Let's keep it honest. But whatever. I don't care. I guess I'll never have a project with Amazon because I'll continue to call them out. What I'm curious about in this video is what actually happened between Katy and Orlando. And new reports from sources close. Again, take this as you will. These are sources coming in. I can't confirm any of this, but I'm curious what you guys think. Apparently, he was constantly trying to warn her. And not only that about her bad moves, but also how she was using him, Orlando, to try to make this album a hit, which it never was. It imploded after singer made embarrassing journey into space. The couple's now sparring over who will attend the wedding of Jeff and Lauren. They were already on the rocks when Perry made the widely derided 11-minute space trip, which became a PR disaster. Perry in particular became the internet's punching bag for it, obviously, as we all saw. Apparently, she received little to no support from Bloom, who blasted the embarrassing debacle during Explosive Row. He told her the whole thing looked ridiculous. I mean, if that's true, bravo. Source close to Perry's camp told a Daily Mail. He said it was cringeworthy, embarrassing. This was in the middle of a fight, and it hurt her feelings. Of course she was hurt. The source continued. Imagine going to space, mother effing space, and your partner isn't impressed. She hoped he'd be more supportive. So that's why she did it? She went to space to try to get Orlando more interested in her again? Yikes, the desperation is real, I guess. Now, notice, in 9 years, I hadn't seen them together until she needed to launch this new album. I never really saw them. And instead, she was out there promoting the couple as much as the album. It was pretty awful. Now, again, she had prior commitments, but it does go deeper in that as to why she didn't go in the wedding. She will be on tour in Australia, which she announced months before the date was announced. Katy feels like they're really her friends more than his, yet he's the one going. And he's insistent that he goes, which annoys her because he's not particularly close to either of them. She feels like it's an FU to her from him. I buy that. Why is he going? Because he wants to go hook up and connect with all the Hollywood people. That's why. What really stings is the hypocrisy. He complains about her going to space, and then he wants to go to the wedding of the people who made it possible for her to do this in the first place. I mean, I can't deny that one, Katy, if that's true. It's difficult for her to accept. They've already spiraling, and now the wedding is another thing that they have to fight about, which apparently they are. It comes at this time when she's having, so much trouble on the internet and with her tour tickets, etc. But there's one more quote I'm looking to. Katy has not been the same person for over a year now, and Orlando has had enough, says a second source, saying that Bloom is annoyed that Perry was never listening to his advice. He advised her against this album. She did it. Now, again, this album had a lot of problems, specifically the Dr. Luke of it all, the producer who was having so much accusations himself and with Kesha and everything else, and which Kesha says Katy knew. And then Katy basically was like, I don't care. I'm working with Dr. Luke again. Against all the internet and fans, it was just a dumb choice to go back to Dr. Luke, but she did it. Now, I don't know if he advised her against the Dr. Luke of it, but he advised her against the album, and he produced the bulk of that album. Orlando apparently also advised her against space. She did it. He advised her against this tour, and she did it. From where Orlando stands, all he ever wanted was for Katy to be herself, the source continued. He fell in love with her and who she is inside, but this past year, he believes, has brought out the worst in her. Perry and Bloom met in 2016, brief breakup in 2017, reconciled by 2018, got engaged in 2019, welcomed their daughter in 2020. They have a child together, it's important to remember. They were set to marry in Japan, but were forced because of the Rona, and it's unclear if they'll survive this patch. He wants her to be happy and he wants her to be authentic. He just wants her to stop and enjoy the life that she has built rather than constantly go out there and use him and make all this stuff, because that's where things get uglier for me as I go back. I'm like, this is true. I'd never really seen them together. And then as she's promoting this album, he was everywhere. She was using him, bringing out Orlando Bloom, Legolas himself, and Jack Turner, Pirate of the Caribbean, to use this. Katy is seeing that she may not be able to recover from all this, and she's blaming everyone but herself. This was a train wreck in slow motion. Everyone saw it coming, but it was ultimately her idea to hire Dr. Luke. Insider continued, she has tried to sell it with her sexuality and use Orlando to promote it with jokes about their ex-life. Also true from that Call Her Daddy show. She thought that the less clothes she wears, the raunchier she is, the more publicity she would get. So he's very private. There's not a lot of stuff about Orlando, but he did step up when she needed him. He's all over the press, holding hands in the announcements and being there to make out at the MTV show and as she did her show, which I'll give her credit. That was a pretty good montage of her past work. And then she started posting the rare Instagram of her shirtless fiance right as her first single, Woman's World, one of the worst songs I've heard ever. Such a hypocritical, dumb song. Was released to mixed reviews. She needed more attention, so she decided to post her husband working out privately on Instagram. This feels very like Jada Pinkett Smith to me. Like, hey, honey, hey, let's see you shirtless. Yeah, look at my hot guy, I'd never seen her post something like that before. Day after it was released, the song, she shared a clip of Bloom, rare clip, stripping off his t-shirt as they ran on neighboring treadmills. Weeks later, she took things further. She boasted about performing an X act on him as a playful reward to reward him during completing chores, which went viral in a bad way for her. She's been with the Lord of the Rings star for 8 years and talked about her love languages in the X-rated interview. If I come downstairs and the kitchen's clean and you've done it all and you've done all the dishes and you've closed all the pantry doors, you better be ready to get your D-est, she's told Alex Cooper. Yeah, yikes. Like literally, that is my love language. Towards the end, she called Orlando a wild stallion. I don't need a red Ferrari. I can buy a Ferrari. Just do the effing dishes. I will S your D. It's that easy. They couldn't keep their hands off each other as they lip locked during so they were all over each other. Like for the first time, like it was very desperate. It was very desperate. I don't know about you guys. It all felt very like, yeah, it's too much. Anyway, this is all part of it. This is all part of it. Yes, they're happy and you should be happy with your partner and show off your partner, etc. But the timing of it all felt very manipulative. And now he's out there embracing bachelor vibes in pajamas with Bezos. That's what he did on the treadmill too. Look, I have no disrespect. Is Orlando Bloom still like a thing? Do all you guys still really like him? I mean, I respect the guy of his work. He hasn't really done a lot more recently, but handsome guy, a talented guy. Is he still like as relevant? It's interesting. No disrespect. I'm just like, he hasn't been around much, and good for him. Go chill and go live your life, brother. You've earned the cred of so many movies and roles that you've pulled off. But I mean, it's just odd. Again, now these are like paparazzi shots. It's not like he posed for him J-Lo style. All the celebrities are being seen, and he's one of the bigger names there from these long lenses. And just because he's walking around with Sydney Sweeney on a stroll in Venice around the festivities doesn't mean they're together. Anybody pictured next to Sydney Sweeney is suddenly dating Sydney Sweeney. But some other new mystery girl, who cares? This proves nothing. There's multiple people there, and they're in taxis in Venice. I mean, are they dating? Because Oprah touched him. Like, it gets insane. And it's like too much. Oprah comforts Orlando because she put her hands on his shoulder. I'm sure she's like, how are you? Good to see you. That's what Oprah does. But apparently this moment meant that they had a heartfelt conversation, most likely about Katy. I don't know. They probably had a 5-second exchange, and Oprah's clearly touchy and annoying. And Orlando is a big name at that celebrity. He's one of the big A-listers out there. So when you're all thrown into a Venice wedding, you're bound to mingle a little bit here and there. And there they did. Who fuck cares? Now, Katy has fans. The fans of Katy are convinced that she was alluding to it last year on her latest album. Okay. So the old lyrics apparently were about telling me the truth about things. That's one angle. I don't know. All I know is Katy is having a bad year. I don't want to pile on. But I am legitimately curious. Was he out there, or is this PR and his sake to try to look better? Is Katy Perry going to start coming out bashing Orlando and blame him? We shall see. What do you think? Who do you believe in this is really what I want to ask. Who do you think's telling the truth, Katy or Orlando? And does Jeff Bezos have too much money? Let me know in your comments down below. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for alerts, smash that like button as well, and let me know what you think. We got more coming your way here on Popcorn Planet, so stay tuned.